Blue Ivy Carter entered the world on January 7, 2012, in New York City, and right away she became more than just a celebrity child. Even as an infant, her presence hinted at something rare. She wasn't simply Beyoncé and Jay-Z's daughter, she was her own person. In the early days, her cries appeared on her father's track, Glory, earning her the title of the youngest person ever featured on the Billboard charts. That moment wasn't just sentimental, it was symbolic. Blue Ivy's life would be a tapestry woven from legacy and individuality, one defined by her own expression as much as her famous heritage. From her earliest steps, she was cocooned in a world of extraordinary visibility, but her parents made sure she knew how to live outside that glare. A childhood framed by private schooling, soccer fields, dance studios, and family dinners preserved a sense of normalcy. Still, when she did step on stage, whether with her mother or at high-profile events, she commanded attention on her own terms, with a striking confidence that revealed a precocious sense of purpose. At 8 years old, Blue Ivy was featured on the Grammy-winning anthem, Brown Skin Girl. Her voice, honest and vulnerable, became a celebration of Black identity and beauty, an offering to young listeners that crystallized her early values. The song earned Blue a Grammy herself, not as a celebrity novelty, but as an artist who helped deliver a message of empowerment. Her presence on that track felt authentic, momentary, yet lasting, like a promise of things to come. Blue Ivy's artistic journey didn't stop there. She lent her voice to the audiobook of Jared Carmichael's Hair Love, offering a playful, empathetic narration that connected generations. Her performance in Mufasa, The Lion King as the young Kiara, though in a supporting role, showed her willingness to contribute behind scenes rather than command the spotlight. Each venture revealed a willingness to authentically learn, explore, and create, setting her apart in a world that often equates fame with immediate domination. Though she's never chased headlines, the moments she seized on stage have felt earned. Whether dancing alongside Beyoncé on tour or walking red carpets with her parents, her ease and presence suggest she understands narrative as deeply as entertainment. She belongs not because of who she's related to, but because she shows up prepared. Away from public view, Blue Ivy embraces a broader palette. She paints, draws, writes, reads, plays sports, and nurtures a breadth of interests you'd expect in a well-rounded child. But she carries herself with heart. She's reportedly introspective, observant, and often protective of her younger siblings, Rumi and Sir. That protective instinct, that sense of kindness, tells us that even at a young age, she's finding her place not by commanding attention, but by holding space for others. Financially, she's already building. Royalties from her early music, endorsement visibility, and even trademark ventures hint at a strategic understanding of legacy and brand. But make no mistake, this isn't about materialism. It's about intentionally constructing frameworks for future autonomy. These early assets, fully hers, give her leverage to explore any passion on her terms. Music, writing, film, fashion, philanthropy, or all of them. Watching Blue Ivy grow, you see a deliberate rhythm. She doesn't force notoriety, yet every milestone hints at steadily unfolding strength. She appears in documentaries, quietly speaks at cultural landmarks, and contributes subtly to conversations without demanding center stage. It's the pace of someone crafting an identity rooted in values, not visibility. Her story invites us to reconsider the nature of stardom. Here's a child who carries influence, who resonates with fans and media, but never flaunts entitlement. She models that influence comes from presence more than performance. That leadership isn't about volume, but authenticity. That power can be composed, patient, and profound. Her journey is still in early semesters, and that's what makes it electrifying. A single child can't be expected to fulfill all hopes at once, yet Blue Ivy's early chapters are already shaping new possibilities. Could she become a singer-songwriter, a director, a writer, an activist, or someone entirely unexpected? The exact shape doesn't matter. The foundation matters. She's grounded, curious, resilient, and intentional. Already, she's become a roots-first role model. For children of public figures, it's a rebuke against the celebrity child star model. She's shown that identity can emerge gradually, with support rather than spectacle. Parents Beyoncé and Jay-Z are her guardians, but not her guides. They offer space. They guide without dominating. That's a rare gift. At a time when fame often equates with sacrifice of privacy, Blue Ivy reminds us that boundaries matter, and how protecting them is not denying a dream, but preserving one. When she discreetly stepped away from public events or social media, the quiet hinted at self-awareness. She signals that her story begins now, but she doesn't need every moment to be fed to tabloids. That restraint speaks volumes. Her impact already ripples outward, to children who look like her and see beauty and possibility, to families navigating fame, to audiences craving nuance over spectacle. She offers representation not through bold proclamations but through the everyday courage of being unapologetically herself. We imagine a future where Blue Ivy stands firmly in her own light. Whether she launches a record, pens a memoir, directs a film, builds a foundation, or does all three doesn't matter. What matters is she's clearly proving that legacy isn't inherited baggage, it's an invitation to craft a life of values. She's showing that greatness can be quiet, that influence doesn't need a megaphone, and that stories unfold in chapters of growth, grace, and guided intention. Blue Ivy Carter may only be 12, but already, her journey carries profound significance. As she advances into her teenage years, steps into adulthood, and eventually becomes a leader in her own right, her influence will likely spread far beyond the arenas her famous parents have already touched. Though she stands on a legacy forged by giants like Beyoncé and Jay-Z, she's crafting her own path, grounded in intention and authenticity. From the moment she first appeared on stage, whether drawing attention as a toddler on a Billboard chart or singing on a Grammy-winning track, it became clear that Blue Ivy wasn't merely a reflection of her parents. She is an individual weaving her own narrative. Her choices have always felt deliberate, not simply moves in the dance of celebrity. Performing Brown Skin Girl at 8 years old, lending her voice to the children's book Hair Love, stepping into the role of young Kiara in Mufasa, The Lion King, none of these moments were accidents. Each one suggested a child in harmony with her gifts, but also determined to explore carefully and meaningfully. Unlike many public figures of her generation, Blue Ivy hasn't leveraged visibility for instant fame. Instead, she's embraced subtlety, unassuming yet undeniably present. At family events and concerts, when she joins Beyoncé on stage, you can see it in her posture, unafraid, poised, real. It's evident that she's been given the respect and space to grow, and she's using it. Behind the scenes, Blue Ivy is also cultivating interests that extend far beyond the spotlight. She's an artist with a pen or paintbrush, an avid reader, a participant in sports, and most importantly, a caring big sister. Her protectiveness with her younger siblings, Rumi and Sir, reveals a kindness and depth that goes beyond appearances. Her personality seems to blend introspection with empathy, an inspiring combination for someone so young. What makes Blue Ivy's presence so resonant isn't just her connections or context, it's her emotional intelligence. She senses when to speak up, when to step back, and when to let the work itself do the talking. That level of maturity, especially in a world obsessed with viral moments, is remarkable. Her early ventures, for example, recording her voice for Brown Skin Girl, could have been flash-in-the-pan moments. Instead, the Grammy she won showed both her credibility and the intention behind her participation. She wasn't just a novelty, she was a contributor. And that authenticity shines through in every project she's involved with. On the business side, she's already planting seeds for greater independence. Through early royalty earnings, strategic partnerships, and trademark opportunities, she's laying the groundwork for a future that can be shaped by her own choices, not just family legacy. Yet, there's no sense this is about wealth or privilege. Instead, it's about building agency, understanding worth, and owning a narrative. Looking ahead, the possibilities for Blue Ivy are enticing precisely because they're wide open. She could become a musician, filmmaker, painter, author, activist, or something entirely unexpected. What matters is that her foundation, built on curiosity, calm confidence, and clarity of purpose, is rock solid. That's why her story challenges long-held assumptions about stardom. For the kids scrambling for followers, the celebrities craving attention, she's a quiet counterpoint. She demonstrates that influence doesn't have to scream, it can whisper. That power can be measured in depth rather than volume. That identity isn't shaped by the spotlight, It's shaped in private, then revealed when the time is right. She signals to other children of public figures that there's a different model, one rooted in autonomy, not obligation, in self-guidance, not parental projection, in boundaries, not performance. She shows that stepping away can be a choice, not a crutch, and that sometimes your most meaningful stories unfold off-camera, in private spaces visible only to those paying close enough attention. Already, her presence matters. Blue Ivy offers representation not by planting a flag, but by simply existing with purpose. For children who look like her, who speak multiple languages, who move between households and cultures, she is a mirror reflecting possibility and calm determination. So, as her journey continues through adolescence, young womanhood, and beyond, Blue Ivy Carter stands poised to be a voice for a generation that craves substance over spectacle. She's proving the power of preparation, of grace under pressure, of authenticity in an age of amplification. We don't yet know where her story will take her, but that's part of what makes it captivating. Each new chapter, whether it's a song, a story, an initiative, or an art piece, promises to reflect a person evolving on her own terms. That's a story worth watching, appreciating, and championing. If Blue Ivy's journey has moved you, shown you another side of influence, or sparked your hope, we invite you to like, share, and subscribe. Let's continue to celebrate those who define their own narratives, who lead with presence, live with purpose, and inspire through authenticity. Thank you for being here and for recognizing the quiet power of a young person who teaches us that the most compelling voices may begin in whispers and still echo across the world. See you next time.